Beneath one of the America's most beautiful national parks sleeps a monster. Its geysers and colors hide something absolutely enormous below. Yellowstone sits right on top of a supervolcano, one of the largest volcanic systems on the entire planet. So, what would happen if it ever actually woke up? On the surface, Yellowstone is absolutely stunning. Bison roam, forests stretch out, and geysers erupt on cue. Old Faithful shoots boiling water high into the sky. Rainbow-colored hot springs steam gently in the cold air. But all of this beauty is powered from far below. Deep underground, a plume of super-hot rock rises from the mantle. This is a hotspot, a chimney of heat fixed deep in the earth. Above it sits an enormous chamber of molten rock. This magma is what heats every single geyser and spring. And the whole region is one gigantic volcanic crater. A caldera left behind by past eruptions. It stretches roughly 34 by 45 miles. So vast, you cannot even see it from the ground. Because Yellowstone has erupted catastrophically before. Not once, but at least 3 separate times. 2.1 million years ago came the largest, then again, 1.3 million years ago, and, most recently, 640,000 years ago. That last blast carved out the caldera we see today. And these were not ordinary eruptions. They were super eruptions, the most violent kind on Earth. The very top of the volcanic scale, a magnitude 8, each hurling out over 1,000 cubic kilometers of rock and ash. The biggest ejected around 2,500. Now compare that to a famous modern eruption. Mount St. Helens in 1980 ejected about 1 cubic kilometer. Yellowstone's largest was roughly 2,000 times bigger. Arced as the point to inquire Punt Karateri. So what if a super eruption happened today? First, the ground would begin to bulge and crack. Swarms of earthquakes would rattle the whole region. Then, the roof of the magma chamber would give way, and the volcano would explode with unimaginable force. A column of ash and gas would blast miles into the sky. Pyroclastic flows would race outward, incinerating everything. Searing clouds of ash and rock at hundreds of miles per hour. The plume would punch high into the stratosphere, and then the ash would begin to fall. Across the entire continent, like grey, falling snow. Feet of ash near the volcano, inches far away. The American Midwest, the nation's breadbasket, would be buried. Roofs would collapse under the sheer weight of the ash. Engines and machines would choke and fail. Power grids and water supplies would break down. And crops across the whole country would be smothered. But the local destruction would be only the beginning. The eruption would pump sulfur gases high into the air. These would spread around the entire globe, forming a haze that reflects sunlight back into space. And the entire planet would begin to cool. Global temperatures could drop for years on end, shortening growing seasons and failing harvests worldwide. It would be a global catastrophe, not just an American one. So should we be terrified? Here is the crucial truth. A super eruption is extremely unlikely, and Yellowstone is not overdue. That is a myth. Volcanoes simply do not erupt on a fixed schedule. The odds in any given year are about 1 in 730,000. Far rarer than most disasters we tend to worry about. And right now, the magma is mostly solid rock. Only a small fraction of it is actually molten, nowhere near enough to fuel a super eruption. Far more likely is a small steam blast or a gentle lava flow. And crucially, it would not take us by surprise. Yellowstone is one of the most watched volcanoes on Earth. Scientists track its quakes, ground shifts, and gases every second. A true awakening would give months, even years of warning. So we would see it coming long before it ever blew. Yellowstone's beauty and its danger flow from the same source. A sleeping titan resting quietly beneath the park, almost certain to stay asleep for a very long time to come. But a stunning reminder of the raw power beneath our feet. If you enjoyed this, subscribe and let's keep exploring our world.